Hello and welcome to Open Awards. My name is John Duffy and I'm here today to talk to you about all of the things from the wonderful world of maritime. Here at Open Awards, we have dubbed the month of May Maritime May. So I'm joined today by Nathan Goodman from Hull Trinity House Academy, who run a number of our maritime qualifications. So first off, Nathan, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. So to start off, if you could just like to tell us a little bit about yourself and the centre and all the things that you do there.
Right, well, I've been Vice Principal at the Academy for 10 years, and the Academy itself was set up in 1787 to have the education of the children of mariners who are at sea. So that's what we were set up for. We've kept that tradition over the last 200 and plus years. And over recent years, we've increased our maritime offer, which is when we've started using the Open Awards qualifications.
Excellent. So the maritime life is kind of embedded in the bricks and mortar of the building. That's really interesting. I was not aware of the kind of heritage and history that the college has, so that's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, the students wear Merchant Navy. Their uniform is modelled on the Merchant Navy uniform, right from year 7 onwards.
Excellent. So we've come to the right place to talk about things maritime for sure. I think we've been working together for a number of years now. I think since 2019, if I'm correct. So, what originally kind of brought you to Open Awards and specifically our maritime offer, please?
Well, I had a number of students who were leaving me at the end of year 11 because we're an 11 to 16 school with also a post 16. And students learn to sail in year 7, 8 and 9 as part of their curriculum. And we do our own short maritime course in year 7, 8 and 9. And then I had students who then do normal GCSEs, and then they were leaving at the end of year 11 and going off to do normal A-levels. And then at age 18, when they're old enough, going to a nautical college to do their cadetship and join the Merchant Navy. And it seemed a bit mad that students had to have this break in the middle of their education of maritime when they wanted to form that as a career. So we added maritime studies into our curriculum at GCSE level as an offer for GCSE option. And at the same time, we were developing a post-16 offer, having been approached by local industry and international industry, actually, to say, can you help us recruit cadets and recruit apprentices into the maritime careers? So we were just in the process of developing the post-16 offer. And so we looked at which qualifications we wanted our students to do that we can form a continuous program right through. And Open Awards maritime offer fitted the bill.
Excellent. Good to hear. So obviously we are, hopefully in quotation marks, kind of coming out of the kind of lockdowns that have been implemented because of the COVID pandemic. How did that affect your kind of the teaching methods surrounding maritime? So I'd imagine that it's a kind of mixture of both practical and theory, isn't it?
It did. It meant the practical side of things had to be placed on hold. We couldn't do pretty much any of the practical side of things during the lockdown, but we could continue online teaching. So we were teaching through Teams to our students, and they continued on following their program of study. And we did some work with the Marine Society program, which feeds into the Open Awards Level 3 in Maths for Seafarers and Stability for Seafarers. So our students did that, and because that online program was designed as a distance learning program, so as they couldn't come on site because we were locked down, it worked really well for them to work towards those 2 Level 3 awards, but also for those who are doing the full certificate, it contributes towards the Maths and Stability at Sea unit, which they will then do as the normal assessment route. but they've obviously done a lot of prior learning that helps support that now that they're back in college.
Excellent. So they were still able to do a lot of the kind of practical work, their theory work rather, while in lockdown. So that's a really good thing to hear. So as I mentioned, we carefully say it, we're supposed to be coming out and kind of all the restrictions are lifted. There's rumours that the economy is going to be bouncing back and whatnot. And in my research for an article around maritime, I've read that by 2005 there's going to be a 3.7 increase in jobs in the job sector surrounding maritime. So my question is, where do you see maritime heading in the future?
Well, I'm hoping maritime will develop further. I think from our point of view, we will continue to work for it from the academy. But as the industry, the shortage of merchant navy officers is ridiculous.
Right.
So they really can't recruit English-speaking officers. Some of the last things I was reading was saying, was from the Maritime Growth Study, was saying we're looking at 16 to 20,000 shortfall in merchant navy officers. Right. The average age of a merchant navy officer has been 60. And not enough people coming through at age 18 to the colleges. And I see the school level education up to age 18 as key in that pathway of getting students who want to pursue a career to have the qualifications and have that experience, so they stand out from the crowd and get those cadetships, which are funded degrees essentially, but also not lose them.
Right.
Whereas in the past, I think the industry's not seen much at school level, and students who could have been interested are lost and take other routes because they're not aware as much as they should be, or they could be, the opportunities that are there. So I'm hoping it will grow more. The development of the merchant navy, UK merchant navy, still do like 6% of all world's trade. It's a seafaring nation. We need to be developing our seafarers.
Yeah, because that's one thing that kind of became abundantly clear over these past 12 months is like we've almost become dependent on kind of logistics, haven't we? The whole kind of Amazonification of our kind of shopping needs has definitely heightened the need for logistics and therefore more people getting involved in the maritime sector. So my next question is what advice would you give to someone who is at that school level, who's interested in studying in maritime?
I think if you're at school, I mean, not many schools offer maritime studies. There's very few who offer it at Key Stage 3, Key Stage 4, or even Key Stage 5. But if you're in a school where they are not available, you could get involved in things such as the Sea Cadets, where that would help you to stand out if you were applying to college. If you were looking at nautical colleges at age 18, after doing A-levels, when you go into a cadetship, start looking early. There's a few key ones around the country. Some of them will take you at a younger age, depending on what A-levels you've done.
Right.
And have a think about what routes you might want to take. Do you want to be a deck officer? Do you want to be an engineer? Do you want to be electrotechnical? Engineering officers, probably one of the biggest demand, I would say. Certainly from the companies who I speak with. But then it's right down to deck crew. We struggle to get just simple crew. And if you show an interest, you've got that little bit wider experience that other people don't have, then that would help you stand out from the crowd, just simply applying for a career role, perhaps on a P&O ferry.
Yeah. Excellent. So I'd imagine that like joining a sailing club or canoeing club and all that type of thing would be beneficial also.
Yeah, anything that helps you stand out. Some of our students every student who's come through our post-16 route has gone on to the industry because they've stood out. But some of our students at age 16, which is very rare, achieved cadetship at age 16, even though from an employer's point of view, they're too young to go to sea without additional supervision, so additional cost and insurance for the company. And the reason that they were taken on at age 16 is because they stood out, because they'd been involved in a sailing club. They'd gone on a tall ship's voyage because an opportunity came up through the Youth Sailing Trust, and they'd gone on those voyages, and that had helped them stand out among all the other people applying, even the adults applying for those cadetships.
Excellent. So, where could a wannabe seafarer sign up and become a part of Trinity House?
So if they lived in the area, or if they wanted to commute, we take students we don't have not a catchment school, so students can apply to us from anywhere in the region. I have students who come 40 miles purely because they want the maritime side of things, and anyone can apply right through. They just go to the Academy website, Hull Trinity House Academy, and the information is on there. If they're applying for post 16, again, they would apply at any point during year 11, right up through the summer holiday, and they can apply again and go through the Academy website to the post 16 section, and all the information's on there. And then I'd be in touch to say what pathway you're wanting, and see if we have a pathway that fits them, that's suitable for what the students want to do. We operate essentially 3 pathways at post 16. One aimed at people who might be looking for crewing posts, one aimed at people who might do a year with us and move on to an apprentice as an engineer. We do that in partnership with a big engineering provider in Hull. And one for students who do the full 2 years and then move on to officer cadetships somewhere like Fleetwood Nautical or South Shields. So that's the kind of routes that they take.
That's excellent. So there you have it, folks. So if you want to get involved in maritime, get yourself started early, join a sailing club, join something that revolves around I'd imagine water, and then follow Nathan's advice and get in touch with Trinity House. So all that leaves me to say is thank you so much for your time. It's really interesting to find out about the school and what you offer and how to get into the world of maritime. So thank you once again.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay, thank you. Take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye.